Kid Vicious, welcome to the Southpawdcast. Peace and love to you, man. I appreciate your time so much, bro.
Oh man, same, bro. Same. It's a pleasure to be on. It's a pleasure to be on. I think we kind of long overdue.
Without a doubt, without a doubt. I mean, I got the pleasure of talking with Kaniva a little while back, and we've
Shouts out to
got
Connect.
serious shout outs. We got some Detroit legends like up in the mix. I want to start off by saying I one of the things I respect the most about you and your career is that you've never really shied away from what you think. You've always
Hmm.
been someone to just speak your mind. It's led to incredible bars, incredible moments, just basic in essentially hip hop or in life. And it made me want to ask you, like, I think you said in an interview one time, you feel like a walking moment. And that spoke to me because there are moments in my life where I'm like, I feel like I'm having a fuck it moment. But
Yeah.
for your life to be that way is pretty amazing. And I wanted to ask, as you get older, do you ever stop sometimes and go, maybe that one was a little over the line? Or like, do you ever stop and
Oh
go,
yeah.
maybe do you
Yeah,
regret
yeah.
anything?
Everything is kind of a I'm a work in progress at all times. But I am trying to become a better person intentionally every day. But I'm still evolving. So I've done some things that when I look back at it, it's like I could have did. I could have just went without doing that. But um, I don't know if there's anything that I've done that I feel like I just shouldn't have done that. It was wrong. Like you get what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
there's
there's
some
that.
things that it's just like it made me look a certain way publicly, but that's not me. It's just a certain like side of me when I feel a certain way. Um,
Yeah, there's something about saying what you mean and meaning what you say in the moment, whether or not it's
yeah,
the exact right thing to do in that moment, right?
yeah. It's like you know when you look back, maybe I could have put this like this or put it like that, and that would have represented me verbally better than just kind of letting emotions kind of get the best of you. But I don't think really nobody work when they operating off of emotions. Like you get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Sometimes, sometimes you can express yourself trying to make a certain point, but since you angry and emotional, you kind of misrepresent with the verbiage. If you understand what I'm saying,
No,
I've
I
done
feel
that
that.
for sure.
I feel that I've done that too, and that's part of why I respect how hard you go when you go, because I'm like, it's the level sometimes that I wish I could go in my own life. Or I'm sure a lot of people kind of empathize with that energy because we all want those fuck it moments sometimes. And the way that that connects with your fans and your listeners and everybody is really fascinating to me because I'm sure you've noticed, especially having been around the world with people like your brother, with people like M. There's some crazy fans out there. And the nature of being famous is like
Excuse me.
you get almost like a parallel reality. Like there's what people think of you, and then there's what you actually are. And like,
Absolutely.
do you ever find like when you meet fans or anything that you need to put up a persona or a character?
No, I'm the total opposite of that, man. I don't really like people like going crazy over me when they see me. You know what I'm saying? I'm the
Oh
most
yeah.
regular dude. That's why I'll never be, the big pop star because I don't like, you know, especially young kids. If they come up and oh my God, it's you know what I'm saying, it's just like, can we take a picture? It's like, you want to take a picture with me? Okay. You know what I'm saying? But I like to kind of talk about that. Like, why you look at me like that? And why you just walk past that guy right there and didn't even speak to him? You get what I'm saying? There's just certain things that bother me about the whole entertainment thing and like idolizing artists and things like that. It's just we all just regular people. And the thing that I hate worse than anything is the artist to act like, yeah, he's supposed to do this, and you supposed to know who I am. You supposed to treat me this way because I rap. And it just don't. I'm more intrigued by somebody being a solid human being first before a rapper, and then we could get into the raps. And if you a fire rapper, then shit, I'll probably enjoy your music forever. But people being able to rap really extremely good, but person to person, they do things that aren't solid representations of them as a man. I don't care how good you can rap. I'm not interested.
Yeah, I feel that, man. I do a lot of interviewing of up and coming artists, and that's something that I've noticed with a little bit more of some of these underground cats. They'll be talking about how like they want to know who you are before they actually like are recording verses with you. They're trying to do that icebreaker and be like, what's important to you? Because
Yeah.
I mean, that's super real. I mean, you rap about that all the time too, like that difference between reality and like the rap game and how I've always respected that you've talked for years about how rap is basically dead. Like hip hop is dying because of all the dances and the funny shit, you know what I'm saying?
It's a mentality that kind of hip hop evolved into, which killed. Like anytime you kill morals and integrity and principles, it's only so strong that the hip hop game is going to appear to be. I don't have an issue in the slightest with nobody dancing. I don't have no issue in the slightest with people going to the club and having a good time. But that's just not a reality state to where it's like that's all that exists. My whole life is just partying and going out every night. That's not a realistic thing for people. And that's why I feel like a lot of people get depressed and have all these mental issues is because they don't have a good balance in their lifestyle. They look at the party like it's the end goal. I mean, we all partied out, man. That's why hip hop is nobody really, really like standing out. Even the pop guys, nobody's really standing out crazy. No new upcoming guys standing out because we all partied out, man. We in the hangover phase right now of hip hop.
That is deep. I really like that. We really are in a hangover phase. Um,
Yeah.
who do you listen to now? Do you listen to anybody's music?
Rappers,
Yeah, or I mean any music for that matter.
man. I listen to old school soul music is what I love to listen to. Motown and like when people just use their voice and their voice spoke in volumes. When people played instruments for the music, you know what I'm saying? I just think that's the ultimate level. And no offense to nobody, the auto tune and all that stuff. It's cool. It's a creative way to express yourself. So I can't take too much credit, but it's just nothing like the real deal. It's nothing like somebody getting on the microphone live and hitting a note that give you goosebumps. You get what I'm saying? Without no effects on it and things like that. So, man, I just listen to the real deals. Even when we talk about rap, you know, the classic um, that we got in hip hop from, what I mean, the Biggies and Pox to the M's and Jay-Z's and Nas and Royce, Jada Kiss, Beanie Siegel, just not just because of their verses necessarily. Just I just like to hear their approach to a beat, approach to an album. All these guys that I named got classic albums attached to their name. And somewhere after that, having that classic label on your legacy somehow doesn't really matter so much. So now when we talk about top fives, we seem to keep getting the same people over and over again. You get what I'm saying? There's no new guy that's like in that spot that's like, nah, I'm here. You get Kendrick, you get Cole, but they like um the exception to the rule. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I feel
You
you
can't you
deeply,
can't just
man.
name a new top five that's like, yo, I don't know, Pop or you know what I'm saying, Jay-Z or I don't know. Like I don't get that. It's not a complaint. It's just um when I listen to music now, maybe it's me being an artist and an MC, but I like to get some kind of teachable moment out of when I listen to, not necessarily knowledge as far as somebody telling you something positive or whatever. I love that too. But as an MC, I gotta be able to take like how the fuck did Eminem tell like talk about something, but he's using syllables through the whole as if he's just rhyming. But he's talking about something and he's doing it. It's like that's crazy to see that somebody could do that. But now that I know it's done and it can be done, that's motivation for me as a rapper to be like, all right, I got that from him. I got that from Royce. All right, let's put it in the works now. That's the fun
Yeah.
shit for me, man. I don't really enjoy hip hop as like a fan like that no more. It's not
No.
enough. It's not enough people that take that stance or that approach of what I like, where I could learn something as an MC or like, you know what I mean? I know
Yeah.
that sounds fucked up.
No, that's real, man. That's real. That's part of why I fuck with so much underground shit right now is because a lot of the mainstream and the popular stuff that's coming out, it's not challenging anybody or challenge anybody's mental on any level. You know, there's
Yeah,
we just did an episode of this podcast actually where we were talking about like people's top fives and people's goats, but part of the issue is that everybody's got these different things they're looking for in music. Some people want a danceable thing, and some people want to be able to just pull their chair up and sit down for like a hip hop class or like a lesson in life or something. And it
yeah.
makes it so we got these top fives that are like, you know, Drake, Cole, Kendrick, Kanye, and Eminem. And it's like that's such a weird grab bag to compare all those people at the same time. You know what I'm saying? It's almost disrespectful in my opinion.
To be completely honest, I just feel like as time went on, um, just in general, I think feelings are something that you just got to be careful about in general. That's the vibe now, and I'm cool with that. But like where I come from, when I was coming up listening to music, and I got two older brothers, so my knowledge of hip hop goes back to the beginning because shit, that's when my brothers was playing stuff in the house. Um, my oldest brother was the guy who would find an artist that nobody ever heard of, play it for everybody, and then later on down the line, that same artist will blow up. And you know what I mean? He got pleasure out of that. Um, but they told me like I'll be like watching videos or something. Why are you watching that? Dude is whack. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is whack? What are you talking about? Here, this
Yeah.
is dope.
You just trying to enjoy the shit and they're like, hold up, hold up, hold up. Let me put you on some real shit, right?
Yeah, but I'm just listening to whatever they're playing. I'm just listening to whatever video comes on. I'm not differentiating what's good, what's not. I don't even know how to do it. I'm just figuring that if it's on TV, that it's got to be good. And I got corrected on that kind of early. But I'm saying all of that to say, like nowadays, when you get those kind of lineups, because people don't keep it a buck on the skills anymore. You get what I'm saying? They put a lot of emphasis on your success as far as record sales and stuff like that. Um, I don't think some of these guys are really that good. Like they're good. They're good, right? They raps, good. Their flows, good. Melodies, good. Um, go across the line, they're good, but they're great at nothing. Like I hear people that rap better than them all the time, people that do melodies better than them all the time, flows, cadence, whatever, however you want to put it. So that's where it gets rough for me to put specifically a Drake in my top five. I can't do it. Like Drake wouldn't be in my top 50.
Ooh,
He
I
wouldn't
hear
be in
you
my
though.
top 50. It's only because, and that's not saying that he's whack, because I do like Drake. I do respect him. I'm just being honest. It's all preference. I just like to me, I like to listen to the Jay-Z's, the Biggie Smalls, the Tupac Shakurs, the people that got range to just go. Like Jay-Z could do Big Pimpin', you know what I'm saying? And then turn around and turn my music high, high, high. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's these different
Yeah.
vibes that he could touch that, if I'm feeling this kind of way, I could put on this song. Oh, I feel this way, I could put on this other Jay-Z song or this other pop song. I can't really do that with Drake. It's just like this pocket that I can use to get my Drake in. You know what I'm saying? He don't give me no soul, nothing that, you know what I'm saying? That's like, yo, I relate to that shit, bro. He went through that. You get what I'm saying? Which it is what it is. Everybody don't have to be like that, man. That man has done so many amazing things as far as record sales, popularity, and things like that. But he might be in a lane of his own, bro.
Yeah,
That be the
no.
only thing. I don't have no issues with nobody till we start comparing artists. When you start comparing Drake to like Jay-Z and Nas, and you know what I'm saying? It get weird for me because I've heard Nas tell stories. I heard Nas bar out. I heard Nas do some club shit. I've heard all these styles, and I've only heard a certain range from Drake, and he does it very well, and he's an expert at doing those things. But even what he's the best at, I've heard people do it better. That's my Drake rant. I'm sorry.
No, that's real, man. That's very real. And it
Yeah.
it reminds me of I mean that episode we just did about top fives and all that. Like you're hitting on exactly the type of stuff that we were trying to open up in our dialogue, and a lot of it came from like people talking like Jay-Z versus Eminem, and it's like it's really like an apples to oranges type of thing. Like hip hop is so nuanced and open as an expression that how are you going to compare those two different things? You know, it's I
Where you
mean,
put Busta Rhymes in there? Who can compare to him? He got
exactly.
such a different style and such a different way of expression. You know what? I'm gonna keep it a buck, man. I told myself I'm gonna start doing this, and I'm not trying to like persuade anybody else, but for me specifically, I gotta just stop doing it. I gotta stop because it's like a top five. How are you even able to do that? Like, how is that even a possible thing with all these amazing MCs that we got who express themselves all these different ways? Bone Thugs and Harmony was like such a different expression from Wu Tang,
Mm-hmm.
who was a way different expression from Tribe Called Quest, who was a whole different expression from Slaughterhouse. You get what I'm saying? But nonetheless, we're talking about all great MCs. So I think it kind of just take away. So when I say Drake ain't in this, you know what I mean? It's like it sounds like I'm speaking about Drake like he ain't shit, when that's not what I'm trying to say. It just sounds like that because it's all of these comparisons. You
Yeah.
get what I'm saying?
Oh, without a
So
doubt. And I think you hit the nail on the head. We're talking about like he's his own thing. He's got his own lane. Like
yeah,
I love the 3 lane theory because it you know it takes hip hop and splits it up into some almost like some subgenres where you're talking about Drake is basically pop music, which is fine, but it's not for everybody. You know, you got like the Kendrick lane, you got the J. Cole lane, and I feel like there's even more lanes than that now,
mm-hmm.
based on how it's evolving. I
Yeah.
wanted to take a hard left turn though, man. I wanted to ask. Do you have a favorite strain of herb?
A favorite strain? Sheesh. Um, not. I wouldn't say one specific. Like I've had favorites. Man, weed has changed too, man.
Right?
It's changed a lot. Like originally, like the OG, you couldn't miss just this taste and smell, that you just couldn't really miss with a good OG. Then we start getting like Purple Alien and like just the super tasty, crystally. And then now, I'm not saying it doesn't exist, but just generally when you go and you got a dispensary and you got all that type of stuff, usually they just don't got. They got a bunch of hybrid stuff that just kind of like the weed is kind of softer now. People keep talking about they putting fentanyl in it and all this shit. I rock with my man, Young Devious, from DET the Basement. That's my partner in crime on Instagram and in real life. And we got the same kind of preference, like something tasty that's strong. You know what I mean? But no specific name, no.
I
No
feel you.
specific name.
I feel you. Yeah, those of us that came up, I think I'm around the same age as you. And like after coming up, you know, around that like 90s, 2000s time, you're like, weed has completely changed. You like, we used
Yeah,
to just be like, give me a straight indica. And you were just good. Like as long as it was good quality, you were fine. Now you're like, we need the hairs and I mean, weed farmers are like scientists, like in their dungeon
yeah,
nowadays in the laboratory. Um,
yeah,
Another random hard left turn. Do you believe in aliens?
I do.
That's fascinating. I mean, I had to ask because of Alien Gang, obviously. I mean, nothing but love for the Alien Gang, persona and the crew and everything. I wanted to ask you about that because there's something really really interesting about believing in aliens or that type of stuff because a lot of people are very close minded, and as soon as you
Mm,
say something like I believe in aliens, people are just like okay. But I think that type of open mindedness really says it says a lot about like say your artistic style and how much you're willing to open yourself up to new things. How do you feel about all that?
I mean, I just think the average person is they're more comfortable being safe. Um, the music that they listen to is music that they hear on the radio all the time, so people must like it. So if I like this, people can't be like, "Yo, why are you listening to that?" It's just these safe zones. For me, I just tend to believe like, yo, so you think we the only life on this in this universe? I mean, if you don't feel like it is, I'm not judging you. Just don't judge me for feeling like it is. I mean, there's all kind of signs and signals showing it. It's just that a lot of people don't want to believe it because it's safer to not. Like this is an unknown thing. You get what I'm saying? It's a lot of unknown to it. It's not something you could just Google and get the answers. So a lot of people gonna react like that. But I mean, it is what it is. It just is what it is. Lots of people believe different things, and some of it can be considered ridiculous. Some of it can be considered genius or whatever the case may be. Just me specifically, I'm not like infatuated with aliens. I didn't make Alien Gang because I'm infatuated with extraterrestrial beings from outer space. I'm not like a sci-fi buff or nothing like that. The Alien Gang is it was created through really just me being around people who I look at as aliens. My brother is an alien to me. Eminem is an alien to me. All of these artists, they don't have to be the top 5 or the top 10. There's so many artists that like they face so much in their day to day, but they still are able to shake it off, go in the lab and make music. You got to be a certain type of person to be able to do that. You know what I mean? Just dealing with everything that people deal with and being able to just shake it. Not rappers by themselves. It could be anybody, man. Basketball players. How many kids want to go to the NBA when they're young? The ones that make it are different. You know what I'm saying? They're aliens. They actually did it. So that's what Alien Gang is. It's the extraordinary beings of the planet. It's not a rap group. It's a collective of rappers and solid people from around the world. Whether it's not just rappers though, we got whatever you do in life. You know what I'm saying? Do it to the fullest, but also the important part about the Alien Gang is the standard that you held to as a person. You cannot be considered an alien if you sold 80 million records, but you've done things personally that make you, out to be as a man something different. And I want to normalize that. So that's why I do what I do, man. I don't like people glorifying people who don't even have anybody's best interest in mind. It's all about me, 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 me. Fuck everybody else. I don't really care about the fans or nothing. It seems like the fans like that shit. When the artist is like, hey, hey, can I take a picture? And the artist is like, hurry up. You only get one. They're like, oh, cool. Oh. And they like, oh my God, this guy, like he's so amazing. But if somebody is like, hell yeah, come let's take this picture, man. How you doing? What's your name? Okay, you rap or what you do? And it's like a more personable type of guy. For whatever reason, they become less memorable. It's weird to me. So I
Yeah,
like to normalize solid activity and solid human to human behavior. You know what I
that's
mean?
a weird one, man. People don't want that human interaction. They want to talk to a persona or some like big ego, like it's like they want someone to worship. It's wild.
Absolutely. But the dangerous thing is the people that's getting worshipped are starting to become the rap character that they created. And they're losing touch with their human side because they're so used to being um deified, like there's something special, super special. And I can't rock with that, bro.
I hear you, man. I hear you. Someone that I feel like could have been in Alien Gang. was Nipsey Hussle, and you've rapped about him here and there. I'm from the LA area, so I remember where I was the day I found out that he was gone. Rest in peace. It was crazy because it felt like he was one of those people that you felt like you knew. He had his persona in some ways, but he was a very real dude. And
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you like what he meant to you, or what you would say to him, that type of stuff. Because I mean, he seems meaningful to a lot of people in a lot of different ways. I'm curious about your perspective on that.
Nipsey, when you say he could have been an alien gang, like Nipsey was an alien gang. I never met that brother, person to person. We never had any interaction. But that's the definition of when I say alien. Like with Nipsey, to me, his persona was just a solid human being. He never glorified anything that I know of that was harmful to people. He understood how powerful words were, and he made sure that when he wanted to drive a point, he drove his point, and it was something that people could get something positive out of. He didn't just hold on to negativity. I never heard Nipsey speaking about another man publicly, um, when he could just call him and kind of get to the resolution, stuff like that, man. And Nipsey is a one of one, um, one of the most talented, but um, personable. Like for me, like you said, for me not to meet him and to still feel like I know him, like that's the homie. You know what I'm saying? Like if he was from Detroit, that would be, oh, that's Nip, that's the homie. Like that's the vibe that I got from him. Um, Crypto, he was on that early. He was pushing that early. He was trying to get people to do that. It's just I can't really point to anything about Nipsey that wasn't solid, and that's powerful, and that's why he'll never really die. Always will be missed.
That's real talk, man. That's super real talk. It's yeah, Nipsey's a tough one. I mean, being so close physically, to him, it held extra weight around here for us, and just seeing how it echoes like throughout the country is super wild. I wanted to ask you about one other person. You got a lot of tracks with the producer Spoke Wheel. And I wanted to ask you about that combination of sound, because you've done over your career some very interesting like electronic guitar. You got that like that rock and roll sound in some of your songs, which isn't very normal for the hip hop lane. And so I was
Yeah.
curious, is that like a sound that you normally fuck with in your own life, or is it something that you were trying to explore different lanes, or how did you come across that sound and wanting to do so much music in that lane?
Um, Man, how the hell could I tell this story? There's certain people involved and certain names that I don't really speak about. But I guess long story short, like I was introduced to Spoke Will through some people, and he was just basically paying for features from me and shit, and he provided the beat, and I did some features for him, and then he was just like, I want to do like a project. You know what I'm saying? You over my beats, and his beats to me were just like, at the time they so different. Where I felt challenged, I felt like, can I do this? Like, is that something that I could do? And I just tried it. He liked it. Other people liked it, so we just kind of went ahead and ran with it. I never met Spoke Will person to person, and that project was more business than it was me picking beats and me, you know what I'm saying? But in that same breath, I can say any beat, I'm not opposed to do any style. If anything, it's like a challenge for me to do it. And for the record, I got a bunch of that's different sound than that's just in the computer that I don't really play for people, but I'm always up to record whatever.
That is very in line with your personality, almost like we were talking about at the beginning. I mean, you don't shy away from anything, especially a challenge, and I got nothing but love and respect for that, man. Your most recent single, "Fast and the Furious" with Be.3, dropped at the end of 2022, and I was curious what else you got coming because that was dope. I mean, I'm always looking forward to what people got in the vault because at this point, I mean, you got to have some crazy stuff in the vault that you could just throw out there whenever the hell you feel like. Like, what's coming or what you working on?
Yeah, look, Be Free, young superstar from Detroit. That kid is super amazing. Uh, he worked fast. He worked hard, and he loves this music. He loved, like, you know what I mean, like him being in a position where he can get paid to do music. He could do that shit effortlessly. So he's gonna. It's only a matter of time for him. Um, Me and him are working on a project together. That's one of the things. I got one solo project that's mixed and ready, and I got an album, like a album that I'm proud of. Like I just like from front to back how it comes together. I'm about 90% done with, and that's my baby right there. Like I can't wait for y'all to hear it because it's just like it's a movie. You know what I'm saying? It's a movie. The other project that I got is just basically, man, if anybody is wondering if I can rap, people who were familiar with me that are wondering if I can still rap, whatever your thoughts is about lyrics, they'll be answered on that project. You know what I'm saying? It's just time. It's time, man. And I took my time to just kind of get things right. Before it started to feel kind of like I'm pressured. I gotta hurry up because I haven't done this and this long, man. We gotta do something. Like the people are gonna be like, did he take it too long and stuff like that. And then it just got to a point where I, I'm not gonna let nobody rush me. I'm the artist. I do this shit for me. I'm not trying to be the popular guy. I'm not trying to be. All I really want to do at this point, 2023, is just get paid to be creative. You know what I'm saying? Like your time is everything, and if you could, if you're not worried about bills and just necessities, things that you need because it's covered, then your brain opens up a whole different way. I don't have like how's the rent gonna get paid, or I got to shoot this move before I get back in the lab. And sometimes shooting that move could land you in jail, in heaven, all kinds of shit. So it's like, yeah, that's my thing. That's where my piece is. I just like being creative. I like sometimes to work on music, and then other times do the Monster Energy live on Royce's shit. Um, I've been writing movies, and you know what I mean. It's a lot. It's a whole lot. But I just enjoy being creative. I enjoy getting paid enough for it to where I can stay creative. I don't need, like, if I bought a Lambo right now, it's like I don't even know where the fuck I drive it to. I give it. It'll probably be like a community Lambo. You want to use the car today? Go ahead. I'm just one of those guys where I'm not intrigued by that type of shit, man. And I'm the weird guy. I'm a weirdo. I'm a nerd probably to some people because I don't want Gucci. I don't want Louis. As a matter of fact, I'm disgusted by those companies. You get what I'm saying? So it's just like I do things at my pace. I feel like I was raised well. My mother and my father, and I got two older brothers, and they all raised me well. And I think that for me to continue to try to be into the same that the regular motherfuckers be into, I'm not really showing my mother and my father or my brothers that they did a good job. You know what I'm saying? And me taking this stance, I feel like that's showing them, like, you didn't raise somebody who's a follower. I do my own thing. I move in my own pace. I have no boss. And um, I mean, the flip side to that is if my goal was to be the richest guy out, I'm probably never gonna get there because I'm doing it how I want it. I'm not worried about nothing else. So, but I'm just blessed to be in a situation where I got a place to stay. I got a beautiful family, and I could be here for my kids. I'm not out chasing the girls, the groupies after the shows and shit like that. I don't want to be in my Lamborghini driving around getting whistled at instead of being here getting ran over by my daughter every day. Like, that's what I enjoy.
Yeah,
You know,
that part right there is key, man. And I wanted to ask you about your family. I didn't want to overstep a boundary at all because some people like to keep that very separate. But I was curious,
no
especially,
boundaries,
dude.
no boundaries.
So much respect. One of the things I think is really interesting about life is when really masculine dudes have daughters because it forces them to really grow and adapt in different ways. How has being a father changed you, especially to a daughter?
I didn't start living till I had my firstborn. My son is 5, and I didn't travel the world, man. I didn't seen some amazing looking women. Uh, I done met some amazing people, some legends and things like that. But my son and my daughter, yeah, it's nothing like that. It's nothing like that. Um, I realize what love is, what love truly is. If you love somebody like you love your children, man, that's love. Like, it's nothing my kids could do to where I'm gonna turn my back on them. Like, it's just not possible, especially with the way that I'm raising them. I don't foresee them doing something where it's just like, oh, I can't talk to him no more. Like, I crazily love my kids. Um, my having my daughter just made me honestly start making me treat women better and making me start looking at women different. And I'm still a work in progress, but I'm trying to get to a point where my wife feel like a queen in an actual castle. You know what I mean? And we'll get there. It's a work in progress, but like those are my intentions. After having my children, man, I'm not nothing serious. I'm not no tough guy or no gangster when it come to my kids. Like, I'm a goofball. I'm the silliest dad. If people could put the cameras on me all day, they'll see a way different side, like, than some serious rap guy. Like, that's just whatever. Being the silly dad that your kids love, they love to laugh. I love seeing them smile. Like, that's what is more important to me.
Yeah, that's the most artistic thing ever also is like you've been around the world. You've been all over the place and met so many people, but the most meaningful things are right there at home for you. It's so beautifully artistic.
Like, some people got these images and they got this guard up because they don't want people to look at them as somebody that's vulnerable or look how he playing with his kids. Like, he can't be a gangster. Well, dog, I'm not a gangster then. I'm not interested in none of the tough guys. You feel what I'm saying? It's just it's all about enjoyment. It's all about having fun and creating moments. So look, I just spoke the monster up. Say hi.
Hi.
Yeah, this is my princess right here, man. That's what we do. You can look at her and tell, like, all we do is have fun. She's not a angry kid by no means. Um, and that's where my happiness lies.
That's real, man. I mean, I couldn't have asked for a better ending for this. I mean, you can obviously tell by how happy somebody's kids are, like how good of a person they are, how happy they are themselves. So I got nothing but love and respect for you, your career, your family, everything, man. So anything that you want to shout out to the people or anything you want to holler at people about before we wrap this thing up, man?
Um, yeah, man. I mean, be on the lookout for everything that is Kid Vicious, that is Alien Gang. Um, like I say, I got my man Young Devious. Go by DET the Basement Live on Instagram. Man, we got this thing with Serious Jones, the battle rap legend, Free Serious Jones. where we get 2 MCs and we do a tournament, right? We do a tournament, my best verse versus your best verse. So it's not battle rap, is you know what I mean? So if you go first and you go crazy, I have to figure out a way to out rap that. You get what I'm saying? And I can pick any rap that I got in my arsenal. It's just got to work. So we're approaching the 4th tournament overall. Yeah, and just creating that energy, man, of people rapping again, people enjoying to listen to bars and lyrics again, and a different way of expressing themselves besides like just kind of before. Okay, so the new school thing, right? The new school thing is a very similar expression overall. And it's cool. It is what it is, but it kind of got looked at like if you're not doing that, then whatever. You get what I'm saying? And for me, I don't want to complain about like younger artists, or I just want to be the change that I want to see out there. You get what I mean? So when I do certain things, it's just for me and other people in the hip hop community to enjoy it. You get what I'm saying? What else? I got the Monster Energy live. We do it on Royce the 5'9's live every Tuesday and every Friday at 8 p.m. Got people from all over the world showing up rapping. It's amazing. Damn, man, what else? Be on the lookout for me and Be Free. Be on the lookout for me barring everything up, and be on the lookout for me to drop album of the year this year. This year, if the project that I put out isn't being talked about like album of the year, then I got things all wrong, bro. And one more, I gotta, man. Listen, big salute to Southpawer, man. Very like you be on it. Everything. You on the post, like, you know, if you want to follow certain sites and things like that, it would be people who are constantly on top of everything, and that you are. So I definitely salute you for that, man. And anything that you ever got going on and you need Kid Vishis, I'm there, man.
I mean, we appreciate that, man. Now, I gotta say also, I am not the single genius behind this. I am the dude on the podcast. I mean, we all got our different skills and everything. But shout out to the entire team, because I mean that's what we strive for, man. We strive to make sure that we are bringing, you know, the best and the greatest to people as soon as possible, all the time. So we appreciate you noticing, and we can't thank you enough for giving us stuff to be able to talk about and report on. Because if y'all weren't doing dope shit, then we wouldn't be able to we wouldn't be even having this conversation in the first place. So peace and love to the full extent, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man. Big time.
Without a doubt. Well, stay blessed. We will talk soon, and enjoy the family time, man.
Alien Gang, this is the symbol right here. And it just means I love you in sign language. So it ain't nothing crazy. You know what I'm saying? So Alien Gang love, man.
Nothing but Alien Gang love.